We talk about injustices in the society, such as institutions of power that are supposed to keep us down as an individual. There are stories in history that relate to stuff that we're going on right now. Now that I'm in FHS, I have another place to talk about issues in America and even have people share what their personal views of issues in America are. This class is a big community that everybody can be a part of, not just Filipinos. It may say Filipino heritage, but it's more like community heritage. It's like all about us, and it's really been a great experience because I feel like I'm actually in a place where just because I'm a different color doesn't mean they don't love me as much as some people of the same color, which is really nice to have in a community of people.
FHS is a class mainly around community and classwork. Our true goal is to educate students about how to be active in their community in ways that can positively affect the community. Today, we are preparing for a panel of FHS alumni that are coming to our class to answer some of our burning questions that we have, whether it's concerns about what they learned in the class, or how it's helped them in their life, or any fond memories they have of Santos. But what we really want to know is how have they changed their communities since they've been in the class.
How's everyone doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you? My God.
I'm actually too.
No way.
Yeah.
So, my name is Angelo. I graduated 2011. I'm 23.
My name's Kevin. I'm FHS class of 2013. I graduated in 2014.
My name is Eliza. I took FHS in 2011 and graduated in 2012. FHS started everything for me. Everything I learned here opened my eyes. I learned about my family. I learned, why my last name is DeCastro. Why isn't that a Tagalog last name? I learned why people like me because I'm a light-skinned Filipino woman, or have light eyes, why I have a nice nose. So I learned a lot about myself, and so after FHS, I gained an identity. I knew who I wanted to be.
With this class, it teaches you who you are, not just about Filipinos. It teaches about resistance and being us.
I think speaking upon in the Young Americans Middle School, we were at the helm of that, and what started off as a school project for this class, it ended up turning into this huge movement. And looking at it right now, we now have the first school in the nation that named after Filipino Americans. Who can say that when they're 16 years old? It talks about the impact of the youth coming together and making their voices heard. Learning how history of colonization has affected us, and to think it impacts to where we are today, it really opened my eyes to how the world works.
I'm 23, and I still go back to the teachings of this class, of everything everything he said, everything you guys are saying to each other. Show the world who you are. That's the best thing to see, and that's what this class taught me. Be you as much as you can. In this class, remember that. It's not just even Filipinos, it's all of us. Whites are with it too. Blacks are with it, Latinos, Native Americans, we all gotta come together,
I was an outcast or something that was, not the same. But being in FHS showed me that there are other people like me, and that do believe in standing up for ourselves, or that everybody has a voice. Normally, I don't really talk. I just let my lyrics do the talking. That's where you guys will really hear me most.
In real life, have you ever encountered someone who didn't have in this class you have to learn a lot of stuff? Have you ever tried to teach it to someone else to show them a different perspective of society in general?
teaching just coworkers and any other students. Some will think you're crazy. I'm listening to hip hop right now. Everyone's trying to get their voice heard. Kendrick Lamar's album just dropped, and he's saying some shit. Damn. he's saying some real shit. To answer your question, yeah, I do try to talk to people. I'm pretty sure all of us try to talk to people about this kind of stuff. But are they really listening? Yeah, some are. And that's what we're going to keep on doing, you know, like us coming here is like, there's more to that, you know, all this information you go take here, trust me, you're gonna realize it once you walk out these doors. You're gonna realize it.
Yeah, so this class literally allowed me to share my voice a little more, be a little more comfortable with my voice and my own skin.
I feel like it was two things. After this class and I stepped out into the real world, it doesn't even have to even be the real world, like graduating high school, like you can see it now. You guys watch like Rick and Morty? Like Morty's like this stupid kid, but he's telling like, oh, everything that's real becomes fake, everything that's true becomes a lie. That's what this class shows, it's just like that. Number two, I feel like a big thing is, as us men, as us women with an A, women with a Y, we gotta start coming together as men, as women, coming together and actually talking about this shit. We need ideas, even artwork. Anything can be heard, anything can be seen, even if it's just a glance. Someone's gonna look at it, someone's gonna hear it.
After knowing what I know and learning from this class, it's like, you know, you can't just let that stay in your head for a long. Hell no, this is some precious shit that you're learning here. The biggest thing I took from this class was this sense of unity and family. As this class went on and going through teachings, I had to go through a bunch of like bullshit that we had to like, you know, handle ourselves. You know, we ended up understanding each other a little bit more, understanding that, you know, we have this common thing, this common struggle. But there was a saying here that I learned: if you ain't struggling, you ain't living. In that sense, we were living with each other because we were living in the struggle. To this day, I still am hella close with a good amount of folks in my class, and as well as some alumni from years prior.
In this panel, we were able to clearly see how alumni felt about FHS. A big characteristic that stood out among their testimonies was the idea of community. We, the students and the youth of this generation, tend to be divided by our opinions. However, in order to be successful, we should take from our peers as well as our elders. So, today we decided to head down to our local barbershop to ask someone there what they learned about the community from being in it for so many years, and why he decided to break away from the social norms is when it comes to being in a community.
It's kind of cool. It's also the fact that, like, community building, I have a whole web of people that do a lot of stuff or knows a lot of things. Like, people are resources. If you guys ever need anything, like literally anything, if I don't know it, I know somebody who does. Today's economy, like, I feel like everything should be done in partnerships. If you want to do something, you gotta find somebody to do it, and y'all work together. Like working together, collaborating with folks, that's something that's huge in the outside world, bro. But all the stuff you learn, you're not gonna forget it. You'll forget the details, but you're not gonna forget the main ideas. Because you can't just unlearn the history you just learned. No. Once you learn that truth, it's there forever. That's some ways that I learned a lot of things young, like early. When I mean early, y'all ain't in college yet. Oh yeah. When you go to college and there's all these like cool like Filipino words to teach you on this like history and whatnot. Like I didn't have to do that. No, I learned it all in school, and it mattered because I was still young enough to make certain decisions. The biggest thing though is don't internalize everything you learn. Like this is sad, man. Yeah, you know, these systems of oppression don't oppress you. Because you know it, you can't stay in a cloud. You gotta figure out how to uplift yourself and others. Like people, there's always fucking contradictions to everything. There is. That's exactly why you need to know the other side. If you don't know the other side, you're gonna lose. That's one thing I learned quick. What we did is like strangely, like the class before me, they mentored us all the way through. They really did. It was a cool little culture, man. When folks would come back and get back, like constantly. And a lot of friends I can call my family, man. It's fucking wild.
Richmond the barber goes into many things about community that are absent in the social norms of what a community should be today. and how we could change our community for the better. The students of FHS have an organization called PYC, Filipino Youth Coalition, where their goal is to bring positive change in our community. Today, they have a workshop about educating others about issues in our society that is affecting our communities and what we could do to take action.
There is law because of the newest Philippine president. There's a law saying that if you're associated with drugs, police have the ability to shoot on sight.
What?
So that means that a lot of people are being killed for just being involved with the drugs.
And right now, it wasn't pretty much people in power putting other people in power to take over lands. After imperialized the nation of the country, other lands to expand. So basically, people in power put other people in power, rich or big corporations. It's their job to till the lands.
In this workshop, the students of FHS, who are part of the organization PYC, went into many details about how these issues are affecting our communities and how it's affecting individuals in our community. So, we took people from our community who also took FHS in the past and asked them what the class meant to them and things they have learned through the class and how it further affects them in their daily lives.
FHS to me is basically a class that I genuinely care about, and honestly I think it's a class that every school should have, like ethnic studies in general, not just FHS, but ethnic studies. Because if you don't know your own culture and your own history, then who are you?
It's very broad, it's very wide, and it also branches out to a lot of different things with different topics and subjects. I think it's very well developed, and I think a lot of people would benefit from taking it. I also think that FHS is it's a great means of communication, for everybody and everything. I think I'm more well-rounded than before. FHS is clearly one of the more historic classes that I've ever took. It helped me really understand our governmental system.
Ever since I took it last year, honestly, my perspective has really opened up. And I've been doing a lot more community work and a lot more basically going around the community as well.
Taking FHS, it helped us and also me to really understand how it was to be a Filipino during the governmental system, and it also got me to understand more of the politics related government, and it really got me to understand the elections, what's happening in today's politics and stuff like that.
My connections throughout Filipino communities go as far as Stockton and as far as San Jose. It's because of this class, I made all these connections, and I made a lot of cool friends, and also I met a lot more community members and a lot of leaders inspired me.
Through these interviews, we can see how FHS has made an impact on the lives of many students. Seeing the struggles they face on a day-to-day basis, seeing it divide our community more, is heartbreaking. But the problem that we're facing the most is that the more problems we get through on a day-to-day basis, the more it divides us instead of brings us together. But we need to be doing the opposite. We need to come together as a people, as a community, to try to fight these issues. Because we're not sharing these ideas with our elders or our peers. We're keeping them to ourselves. But what we should be doing is taking these ideas, collabing with other people in our community in order to find a way to fight these issues. And that is exactly what FHS is teaching us. The class is not about Filipino history or the struggles they face. It's about a community and what everyone's facing. Even to this day, we are still facing the same issues our ancestors faced in the older times. So what we need to do, and what FHS is trying to tell us to do, is that we need to come together as one people. It doesn't matter what race you are. They want us to come together as one people and collaborate and share our ideas so that we can help bring positive change to our community, so we can build a community of interconnectedness and become one whole community, so that all these issues we face on a day-to-day basis can become small issues, because many of the issues we still face today are from the past.